Hello and welcome back for more Comancheria. We are moving into a passage of time for this particular scenario, that's where we left off. So, but before we do that, one of the things I always have to remember is don't just do passage of time. I still have to do the war column phase, and I still do have a small war column on the board. So, draw a war card, and this time they are going to move. So they will end up moving into that space. Now, I would roll for attrition, but I have to roll less, and they're at 1, so I can't. They won't actually attrit. So then I'm going to pick for an event. High strength war column within 2 non-dash spaces of and not in the same space as a rancheria. Okay. So that no effect there because essentially there is no war band that's not in a space with a rancheria. So we are going to have a battle here, and for those of you who watched the previous video, I had some confusion in the previous video where I didn't know if you could just keep kind of using the same band over and over and over again. I was lucky enough to actually get to ask Joel Toppen, the designer of the game, that question. He was helping me with the TTS module, and I asked him, and so I found that you can just keep using the same band over and over and over again. So this is why we left this band in an unfinished state. So we are going to give this band horses Mahimiana, and they are going to go to battle against this particular war party. So I have to remind myself. So I'm going to pause for a second and just remind myself how battles work. Okay, so we get +2 for the strength of my tribe, my warband, sorry. I get +1 because I have that horsemanship card in play. And I get +1 for the Mahi Miana. So that is going to give me a total of +4. So essentially, on a 3 or above, I will win. On a 2 or below, I will lose. So crossed fingers here because these things can snowball. Okay, but on a 3, I actually do win the battle. Oh, and I forgot. Sorry, I gotta go back. I gotta be more careful about this. So, -1 military point and fight a battle. I have to reduce my military points by 1 in order to fight this battle. So, I did win that battle, and the result of winning the battle, reduce the war comp strength by 1, and I'm going to remove it. Any participating Mahimiana's medicine increased by +1, but it can't actually increase his medicine, so we'll just leave it where it is. But at least that particular threat is off the board. So we'll unstack all of that in the rancheria, and now, having finished the war column phase, we will proceed to passage of time, a process which I have no hope of remembering, so I just got to walk through it. Mark all bands as in played, and then I can spend resource counters to create new bands. So mark him as unfinished, and then I am going to spend 1 captive to create a new band in Rancheria A. Okay. Then I can spend resources from in-play bands in order to increase the strength of band counters. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to go here, and I'm going to spend... I think I have a bison in here, right? Yeah. But I don't think I want to use that, so I think... do I want this to be a 2 strength band or a 3 strength band is what I'm kind of debating. The 2 strength band has more movement capability. The 3 strength band would be better defense if, like, say, a war party were to show up. And so I think I'm going to simply spend that bison and turn him into a 2 strength band, and hope that that will be enough to get me through the turn. Next turn I can start to sort of build up that Rancheria, but this turn that's the best I can do. I mean, obviously I could have actually made it a 3 strength band. Now I do have this card, and I could put a 3 strength band in there if I wanted to, but I also want to maybe keep that card as a hedge against this thing when it comes to victory conditions for that card. Now in Rancheria A, I'm going to spend 2 captives, and I'm going to turn these 2 into 2 strength bands. And I'm going to spend my 3rd captive to turn this into a 3 strength band. 2 strength bands will be doing most of the sort of work, and then the idea is I'll leave this guy mostly in the Rancheria in case I need to deal with a war party. I could also obviously send one of these guys out and actually have them go into that Rancheria, which now that I think about it, is probably a good idea. We'll think about that next turn. Okay. Now I can place 1 new Rancheria in a space occupied by a lone band. Remove the band and place it into the new Rancheria's resource box. So, Rancheria B goes down in Red River 6. And let's see, start spreading all this out. I've got 2 horses, and I've got all of that. Okay. Get a medicine rating equal to the band strength. So my medicine rating for my Paraibo, oops, he stays there, is 2. And I think that the Mahimiana is at 0. Yeah, he's at the Mahimiana starts at 0, and I end up rolling to try to sort of make it better. Now I can retire any Mahimiana with medicine greater than 1. So this is obviously what I want to do here. So I'm going to retire that Mahimiana, and I will end up with a medicine of 6 from that guy. So that's excellent. I think it is anyway. I would hope it is. Okay. Now I roll a die for each in play, excepting those in which Mahimiana retired in step 5. So I believe, it seems a little weird, but I think I end up rolling for that guy because nobody retired here, and he is placed here. So I think I need to roll. I think he's fine on a 3 or better. It's above his medicine rating, so I think he stays there. It's greater than or equal to his medicine, no effect. Okay. Now I roll a die for each Mahimiana with a medicine rating of 0 and have the result. So we'll roll the yellow die for Rancheria B and the green die for Rancheria A. Oh, you should have stayed on that 6. All right. So Rancheria B, half of 5 is 3 and half of 3 is 1. It doesn't say, but pretty much every case here you round down, so we're going to go with that. Return all success counters from the out of play, operation track, and medicine track to the cup. So we'll grab those, put those back, put all of these, put all of these back. I have 2 of them here, unfortunately, that I didn't end up getting to use to increase, but he was so strong anyway, it didn't matter. So now the cup is back to full strength. Whoops, you know what I forgot to do? When that band came off, I forgot to do that. Just realizing, when that war party was eliminated, I needed to return that enemy instruction to the track. Okay. All resource counters, okay. Each tribe settlement with +1 ravage is removed, -1 military points if no ravage counters, if no tribe settlement is removed. So nothing's going to be removed, so I am going to lose a military. Unfortunately. Roll a die for each piece and ally counter if it's greater than the AP cost. So I got to roll for that space. And I think I have another one. Didn't I have another one somewhere? Thought I had another one somewhere because they are missing one. Where did that go? 1 second while I... Oh, there it is. It's right there. Okay, so I'm basically rolling. So the yellow die will be for this, and the green die will be for this. Basically, in either case, if I roll myself greater than... So if I roll 4 on either of those, I'm going to end up taking it away. So yellow is for yellow. So this stays, and this goes away. Okay, so that is back. Randomly select a territory. Okay, this is where I'm going to place new bison. So territory 2, which is Lower Arkansas, and Lower Arkansas, in fact, has an empty space. So we will place a bison there. Okay. Okay. Discard the cards in development card spaces. Resolve discard effects. So neither of them has discard effects. So we simply get rid of these 2 cards. Then we draw new cards. So, quality mounts. I can take that into my hand, and I can use that to get bonus movement points. Wow, that's really good. So I can use up to 6 bonus MPs, and then I roll the die if it's less than... Okay. Okay. 1 in-play Rancheria. Reduce the strength of all bands in targeted Rancheria's resource box by 1. Oy, oy, oy. Ooh, okay. That's no good. So, odd is A, even is B. I'm seriously hoping for B. Even is B. So, even though that is really bad because he now literally only has a 1/6 defending him, at least I didn't lose... I didn't have 3 of my bands go down by 1. French traders. I can take it into my hand to conduct a trade action, but no AP cost. And a space in Lower Arkansas, Red River. And I can get guns. And last but not least, the end of the Ute Alliance. Place 1 available tribe into Upper Arkansas. Well, that's a little unfortunate because I'm not there. I now have to get rid of them in order to control Upper Arkansas. So not super happy about that particular card. Because I'm not gonna do a victory check. I can purchase 1 culture card. Now I only have 2 culture points. Let me look at the culture cards and think of whether there's one I want to buy here. Okay, I think I'm gonna... I don't really know right now how to assess culture points or culture cards, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 1 and I'm going to buy this Lords of the Plains card. The main upshot of this is that I can actually sort of block war columns from moving. But also attempt to evade. So I can use like small war bands to sort of pin war columns in place. Okay. That is, I have now done that. So I move operations back to the start space. I move this down 1. And now I'm going to go to operation. I move this counter that goes into the cup. I don't want that to come out of the cup. I hate that. And now I go to operations cleanup. So, enforce stacking rules, no finish bans. So I'm going to draw and reveal one counter from the cup. So he's going to be moving here. So he has 12 APs. So this is going to be a fairly significant turn here. So the north is going, and number 5 flips. Ugh, that seems like that's going to be bad. All right, well, so we start with a hunt. Oh, I did that again. Shuffle that up. Sorry, that goes there. I spend the APs, and I get 2 more over here. So on a hunt, I gotta roll a die to pick a random region. 4. So that's Red River. And then do I choose which space he takes the bison from? Random selection. So, I rolled a 4, so it's Red River. So Red River has just the one bison, so don't need to worry about that. Then I do another hunt action, making change yet again. And I roll again for a region. Region 2. So now I gotta roll, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we remove that bison. Then I do yet another hunt. Oh my god, these guys are just killing me, depleting the bison. What am I supposed to eat? 4 again. So, Red River. I think there's none in there. Hunt. So I go to 5. So I go to 5. Nothing in this game is like easy, right? Okay, so inside of 5, I'm just gonna roll, and basically if I roll a 2 or a 4, I will roll again. A yellow die. So remove it from area 3. Then we have ally. I think that goes on a ally. Player's choice. Non-allied tribe. Okay, so but I also spend 5, which is good. And I'm gonna place that up here. I'm gonna be allies with those cats. All right, that is the end of that. So he spent all of his available APs. So those all move up. And these all move over. God, I gotta start flipping some of these hunts, man. Gotta start flipping some of these hunts, otherwise I'm gonna have no bison to eat. Okay. So now it is, and no, I don't move the operations for a passage of time. That it did not tell me to do that, so I don't do that. Okay, so now we go back. So we have war column phase, but there's no war column on the board. And now we go to operations selection. And like I did kind of last time, I'm going to do 2 culture actions in a row, but I'm going to be better about this. So I do a culture action and I get oh, shoot. You know what? I'm changing my mind. I'm actually going to place this ally counter here real quick. The reason being that this doesn't count against control of this area, and I need to have control of that area to get 3 culture points. I need this guy to be allied. So so in essence, I have two Rancheria and 1 territory that I control, and that's why I get 3 culture points. So I do that. That moves down, but now I have to do operations cleanup, which is something I think I forgot to do a couple of times in the last game that I played. So basically there's no finish band, so I don't have to worry about that. But what I do is draw 1 from here. I get a success marker, so that doesn't add. They have no available APs, and they have no AP counter, so nothing happens. So now I'm going to do a culture action again. That's going to take me to 7, and I move that down, and then I'm going to just repeat this process. So grab a counter. In this case, they got 2 enemy APs. So now we have to roll to find out who activates and flip a counter. So, okay, well, one of these is going to flip now and becomes encroach. I'm not sure that's better, but at least they're not going to be eating all the bison in town. All right, so they have 2 enemy APs, and the first instruction costs 4, so they're actually not going to do anything. So that is the end of operations cleanup. And now I have a decent number of culture points, so that's good. So if I can do a planning operation, I could actually spend some of those to get some military points and kind of even things off a little bit. I don't want to do it again because I can't go above 9, so we'll just leave it there for now. So now I'm going to do take actions. War column phase, nothing. I'm going to do operations, and I'm going to do take actions. So I'm going to take actions with let's see. I need to think about, I'm going to have to get rid of this. I've got this card that could possibly do it. He's allied. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take actions with Rancheria B. And I might do some raiding. I have 3 APs in here. It's actually pretty good. So I'm just thinking about like whether I can grab this bison. Okay, well this is perhaps a little bit risky, but I'm doing it anyway. So I'm going to activate Rancheria B. So I'll put that there just to keep with the process. So I'm going to take 2 horses and my Mahimiana, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to move 1, 2, and then I'm going to hunt. So that's 3, 4. Costs 2 to hunt with the Mahimiana. Then I'm going to move here for 5, and then I'm going to hunt. So I'm going to spend 1 of my horses to hunt and grab this other bison. And then I flip them to finished. And then I'm going to spend 1 AP to flip them to unfinished. I'm going to move them 1, 2, and I'm going to start raiding. So I get 1 draw, and I gotta roll 2 or less to get an extra draw for my Mahimiana. A 1 would give me 2. So I'm just drawing 1 this turn. So let me just make sure I get this right. So I spent 2 to move there, and now I'm raiding. Not great. I'm gonna raid again. Could really use an extra draw here, but I won't get it. I did get a success counter. Okay. So, and we will take the horses that we spent. We'll replace them by just stealing them. And then I will use my last movement to move myself back onto the Rancheria. So that uses up all of my movement points. Okay, so now operations cleanup. I'm going to unstack all this. So I've got some population points now building there, so that's good. So I've unstacked that. Now I have one unfinished band, so I roll to see if they get a free action. They do not, so that's good. Then I draw one, and they get more actions. So now we're going to find out who's taking actions. So it's going to be the West, and this one flips. So now we go and we do the West. So the first thing that was the South, by the way. So nothing flips. Oh dear. This is going to be ugly. They're going to put... Are they going to put 2 warbands out there? Okay, well, let's see what happens. So the West is going to spend 3, and they're going to put a warband out here. Let me just make sure I remember where this goes. Okay, so on step 3, if the active enemies is a peace space, so basically the peace with them ends is what happens there. Then the next one is going to be this war column. So we're going to basically get a tougher war column. So we go. So they're going to get a 4+1. So they're going to get a 5 strength war column. Whew. That is a nasty, nasty piece of work. At least there's a ways to go. Well, they're probably going to be fighting here instead of fighting me, I think. It's kind of what's going to end up happening. And then I've got 2 APs, but my next next thing costs 3, so I can't spend it. So we reset, oops, we reset the instructions. And that is it for the operations cleanup phase. So that seems like a good place to end this video. Got through Passage of Time, built up some culture, did a little bit of raiding with Rancheria B. And so we will, oh, you know what? I'm just realizing I forgot to put a ravage counter there. Sorry. So we will come back in the next video and pick it up from right where we left off. But thank you for joining me for another playthrough video of Comancheria. If you enjoyed the video, it'd be great if you could leave a like. If you have any questions or if I've done something wrong, leave a comment. And if you're enjoying the channel, it would be great if you could subscribe, so then you'll know when we produce new content. But with that, we will see you next time on Agility Snips Gaming Table.